Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth and final round of Tuesday Night Modern here at Top Deck Productions. I'd like to thank all 130 plus of you for tuning in and making us a part of your Tuesday night. I'm Jake Valentine, Matthew Midier, not in the booth currently. I'm not sure what he's doing. We were jamming some standard earlier. I was playing Amazon. He was playing Green Black Dredge-ish thing. He was doing pretty well. That Green Black Dredge looks explosive. But for more on standard, tune in tomorrow at 6. Right now we got some modern action. Victor Kurz on the left with Grixis Death Shadow. Facing off against Zach Creemer on the right and his trusty burn deck.
Yeah, like I left my house.
We appreciate you for having us always on and your support, Zach. We really appreciate you for that. We appreciate each and every one of you that tune in. And don't forget, if you want to help support us, don't forget to give us that subscription here on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you do get that free Twitch Prime sub each and every month. And thanks to your support, it helps us do the live magic with commentary 4 nights a week. And hopefully we're looking to retool our Patreon page, patreon.com/TopDeckProductions. That those patrons will help us do some more. What's what we're looking for? More live content, more original content videos. Stay tuned for some EDH action from Ren, our mistress of all things EDH. We're doing standard tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Give us a follow so you know when we go live.
I will keep mine. What do we got?
So here we go. Turn 1, Victor. Down to 18.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
The precarious balance between Death Shadow and Burn begins. Draw for the turn was a Death Shadow.
I like that about.
Let's see if we have a shock. No. Double Street Rift down to 16. Draws a Teamer Battle Rage.
That was a good game, by the way. Yeah. No, the games are always.
Looks like there's a discard spell. We're going to shock down to 14 with the Watery Grave. I just don't. There's a Thought Seize. We're gonna have 12.
We're going to 12.
We are.
We are going to 12.
Okay. Zach's hand: Lightning Bolt, Goblin Guide, Goblin Guide. Pretty sure it's 2 Goblin Guides anyway. Also have Eidolon Great Rebel and 3 lands. Actually, no, it's a Rift Bolt. So Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Rift Bolt, Goblin Guide, Eidolon, land. He doesn't need to have it pretty well lined up. He can Inquisition into Death Shadow next turn. Down to 10. The Starborn would be pretty key to help protect the 1 Death Shadow. The other thing too is there's no way Zach attacks with his Goblin Guide, because then Victor's down to 10, shocks into 8, and then this Death Shadow is just way too big.
Alright guys, I'm back in the booth. Sorry for the wait. What we got going on here?
Victor's down to 12 on turn 1.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Any mulligans happen?
No mulligans.
Okay.
Just good old-fashioned Death Shadow doing Death Shadow things.
Oh yeah.
Deciding what to take with his Thought Seize here.
I kind of like this Goblin guy, but at the same time, if he wants to get his life total like even lower, but I don't think he needs to worry about that at all since he's playing against Burn. I like Goblin Guide. Possibly Eidolon, but yeah. So ability commander is 1, and it means that there's a potential for a 3-way tie
For first place?
Yeah.
Oh,
so if Victor loses and Andy Falk wins, it's a 3-way tie. Otherwise, if Victor wins this, though, he's guaranteed first place.
Yes. Victor takes Lightning Bolt. I'm pretty sure I agree with that. Meanwhile, Zach going to set 19.
Or does he have like a Fatal Push in hand to get rid of the Goblin Guide?
There is no way Zach plays Goblin Guide, because then again, that attacks Victor down to 10. Victor shocks down to 8, plays a Death Shadow. That's a 5/5. There's that.
Okay, yeah, but at that point, he can just go Bolt and just end the game. So, like, Victor has to be very cautious with his life total. I think Goblin Guide puts down a creature and then attacks.
He's going to go for it. Okay.
Ha!
On the top is a Dismember.
Zach's
Victor down to 10.
We're gonna say go. See what happens.
Victor Zach thought it says we're going to see what happens. Zach drew a land for the turn. Here we go. Dismember off the top.
You have a lot of. You run like 4 of a lot of cards, and you've seen a lot of cards. 1, 2, 3.
So I don't think Victor can win the game here.
Not this turn.
If he plays conservatively, he might not lose the game either. So if he goes all in on a bigger Death Shadow, he's going to die to like Bolt potentially.
It helps he's Inquisition in hand too, so he can get rid of the Rift Bolt in Zach's hand. And then he's a 5/5 with Creemer Powder Rage at the ready.
Yeah, and he just hopes that Zach can draw a bolt and then another bolt off the top or something. Which he didn't. He got a land, so.
Victor actually might be able to set up a very, very lethal attack with this Death Shadow.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Battle Rage. A land at the top would be huge, because then he gets to dismember a Goblin Guide and then Creemer Battle Rage. That just seems like pure gas. We'll see what happens, though. This is a very precarious balance between how much damage Zach wants to do and how much damage to himself Rich wants to do. Yes, a turn 3 is very possible here. I don't think he has land number 3 to make that happen with Dismember Battle Rage.
Definitely a tough thinker here. Shocks down to 8.
As expected. There's a Death Shadow.
Yep.
Let's see if he wants to. He's just going to pass.
Oh, no, definitely not.
He said represent stubborn denial.
Yep. Represent stubborn denial and make sure that bolt won't kill him.
I think Zach drew another hand of land.
Land, yeah.
Do you agree with Victor not playing the Inquisition there?
I don't know, it's tough. I think I actually like it, but...
Zach has 2 Rift Bolts. He's just going to spend both Rift Bolts.
Yep. So if you Inquisition, you know you're getting a Rift Bolt at the minimum, and Rift Bolt's not even that great because it takes a turn, right?
This is interesting, too, because Victor has the Dismember in hand, which Zach knows about. He can go down to 4.
Oh, yeah, Victor won this game, right?
Not quite. He doesn't have enough damage yet.
Dismember down to 4,
he needs to draw
no blocker.
Literally any non-basic, I think. He dismembers on the 4. Any non-basic puts Victor at a position where he is at minimum.
Yeah, he's 1 damage off right now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because 13 minus...
all right, so we do not dismember end of turn here.
No, you do.
Why?
This is your path to victory. You have to dismember here.
All right, sure. So if he has like another bolt off the top, but like...
Well, let me think quickly.
Because if he draws the line, then you get a guarantee. But if you dismember here, then that means that you're risking it all, right? Is there a line of play where you don't risk it and you just draw your card?
The other thing, too, is so if he just draws the card and it's not a non-basic...
then he just
if it is non-basic, he still wins because he goes down.
Yeah, if it's non-basic, he wins because he can use Dismember. So, like, I don't think he dismembers end of turn. If he's going to do it, he does it on his turn.
The other thing, too, is he can just flat out die no matter what Zach... If Zach draws just a burn spell, he's just flat out dead without even trying to go for it.
Yeah, because he takes 3, 6, 9 from the spell.
One reason I was very surprised he didn't play the Inquisition just to prevent a situation like that. He's going to draw. It's got to be a non-basic land.
And it's
a fatal push.
Which is not good because
It's not the worst.
I mean, sure. So he's just like live or die off the top of Zach's deck. And generally, it's probably going to be die.
Especially
since
I'm
Zach's
Victor, I want to fight his Inquisition. I want to get rid of this Eidolon.
Yep.
And I want to hope to fade a draw spell.
Sure.
A burn spell, rather.
So leaving up this Water Graves represents any cantrip, Stubborn Denial, or Fatal Push, and Dismember that he knows about. Definitely, I don't like attacking here, but you can.
No, you do not attack. At this point, if you're Victor, you want to try to fade.
All right, we should just be.
The other thing too is, I imagine Zach just goes face with these Rift Bolts. I imagine, but
yeah, 100%.
I just feel like Victor should have Inquisitioned a turn earlier. I get why he didn't do it.
Yeah, if he did, this game is completely different because then he's at 5 off this Rift Bolt and then 3 from the Goblin. But he can Fatal Push the Goblin, so he's fine. But
yeah, him not Inquisitioning last turn changes the game completely. Thank you, Luke, for that Tier 1 sub 3 months in a row. Appreciate it, Luke. Can't wait to team with you and Adam in Columbus in a couple weeks. All right, Rift Bolt 1, Rift Bolt 2, both in the face. Down to 2.
That show's a big boy.
It's got to be a burn spell. Can't be a creature. It is a Goblin Guide.
All right. Victor is going to get this one then.
He's going to... No, he's not. Not quite.
Or actually,
not quite.
Yeah.
There's a Goblin Guide. He knows about Dismember. He does not know about Fatal Push, though. Here's the interesting... Zach Flata says, I know you have Dismember. That Fatal Push turns out to be a huge draw. The other two is this Goblin is now...
Push, block one.
But what else am I going to do, right?
Yeah, Zach says, of course,
well,
you have
so we still get the triggers, though. So.
Yes. Let's see your thoughts, Gower.
Both die.
One's pushed, one's died.
Yep,
Victor
that's
says
game.
I had the team in battle rage. And that'll do it. Game number 1 to Victor Kurz.
All right,
It was a very
looking good for Victor.
Very interesting game. I mean, if you're Zach, you got to do it, right? You just got to.
Yeah,
make it
100%.
happen.
Yeah. Like that was your only line.
Yeah.
But either way, you had battle rage.
Yep. Zach says either way you had battle rage. He was gonna die regardless.
So let it be known.
Like Victor's like, I just had to play around the burn spell for 1 turn.
Yep.
And then Zach kind of make Victor. There's always something to be said about making your. We talked about this last round. We talked about it after the match with Eddie. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of if I'm playing that type of deck, whether it's Affinity or Burn or Infect, make your opponent have it.
Yep.
If they have it, they have it. And it's not. Some people call it luck. I don't think it's just you put your cards
Yeah,
in your
like
deck
there's
for a
nothing you can
reason.
do about it. Yeah.
Yes.
So like you're playing this aggro deck. When you make the decision to not try and win the game, you're already losing
Correct.
in my mind, right? So when you're trying to win the game, even if they have like even there's a chance it's a card that just blows you out here, it's gonna blow you out later anyways.
Yes.
End the game now if you can.
Yes, you always want to try. You want to play to win. Sometimes you.
Sometimes you lose. And that's what's gonna happen
anyway.
anyways.
That is what it
like-
is. That is what it is. We got 7 minutes, by the way, until we give away a Rashad and Port. If you want to see how many points you have for that giveaway, type in exclamation points, just like you saw right there from DWMMFT. You get a total of 10 possible tickets. Each ticket is worth 20 points, and it's 200 points. We'll get you a total of 10 tickets. And if you're looking to score some easy points, give us a subscription here on Twitch, whether it's a normal subscription or through Twitch Prime. You still get the full 500 points. Good for this and any future giveaway we do. Stay tuned. We'll announce the next giveaway on our Facebook page, facebook.com/TopDeckProductions.
And then once that's all details are hammered out, we'll also just tell you here on stream, per usual.
Yes.
But
Never forget to tomorrow night is standard testing with myself, Justin Gebbing, and friends as well. Maybe Matthew Mini or two to come in.
Yeah, I'll be
with
there.
his green black Dredge style deck. We saw that last week. If you missed last week's testing session, you can check out the YouTube page at youtube.com/TopDeckProductions stream. Again, we're going live around 6 to 6:30 tomorrow. I want to jam some Abzan, some Red and White, some Drixus, maybe some Sultai, maybe some what was the other deck I built? I have 4 decks I just
you built
built.
Stompy?
Yeah, stop it. I'm not.
He doesn't like it.
That just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I don't know. I get the appeal to it.
So I was playing green-black Delirium against it, or not Delirium, sorry, Dredge essentially, right? Is that what this thing called, Dredge? Okay. And I just fired off Vraska's removal spells nonstop, and he just kind of lost.
Yeah, like,
I think he did 3 damage to me.
I still think there's a deck somewhere there.
I agree. I really do.
I
but
really wish Breeding Pool existed in the format.
what's it?
Breeding Pool, just so I can comfortably run Seal Leaf Champion alongside Hadana's Climb.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
For what it's worth, for all of you building decks, make sure you look up the old Frank Karsten Mana Math article on Shadow Fireball back in 2013. Still very relevant today. If you're wondering how many blue sources you need to run in a deck to successfully cast Hadana's Climb on turn 3, let's pull it up quickly here.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised like that I was still in 4th at the end.
It says there's 1 blue source at Hadana's Climb in a 6-0 deck. Frank ran the math. You need 12 blue sources to run Hadana's Climb reliably on turn 3. Which doesn't seem like the biggest deal. You know, you have
Sure, hits on the harbors, and then Breeding Pools would pretty much get you there.
no Breeding Pools yet.
I know, but if you had it, it would get pretty much get you
You
there.
can run Guild Gates if you really want to, I guess.
Disgusting. I hate Guild Gates. Play basics, draw them.
But here's the other thing, too. If you run Seal Leaf Champion, you need 22 green sources to play Seal Leaf Champion on curve turn 3 reliably. And that's where it gets really interesting. I do know that I want to get with against the team turn we had a couple weeks ago. I played against like a green-blue stoppy deck that has an Oscar.
Sure.
I don't know what it ran beyond Botanical Sanctum and Hidden Harbor. It might have been just those. I want to say it ran Steel Leaf and Hadana's Climb.
Just do it.
Just Do It has been called.
That's 8 cards, and then I don't know. I'll play like one of Island, I suppose, but
Yeah, for what it's worth,
just like
like
Fielder Own and stuff.
if you don't mind not casting Hadana's Climb that early and that often, you know, it gets better.
Just draw the blue source anyways, Jake. Come on. Just get good.
There is something about just drawing the blue source anyway.
I I mean, so if you're playing 8 of them, and I'd say one more for like an island, even just one of. I mean, 9 seems pretty good. What was that, 3 off of the recommendation from the site you're using?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's turn 3, so you're looking at, what, 10 cards, and if you're playing 9, and then you have 60 cards in your deck, I feel like the % chance of you drawing that's pretty good.
For what it's worth, there's a deck last season at 5 Dota League that was just playing blue for negate and cyber cards like, geez, River's Rebuke.
I love that card.
Only 8 blue sources total, 4 harbors, 4 sanctums. But, oh man, it's just
so yeah. If you're playing 9 blue sources, that's 15% of your deck. I feel like 10 cards, you should get at least one of those, right?
When it comes to math, you listen to Frank Karsten, and that is it. Frank Karsten is the gospel. I'm trying to find a list with. Honestly, I'm not finding it. I don't want the black lists.
Players drawing their 7s.
I'm going to try to make
the
sorry,
work 6. 6 for Zach, and Zach's going to keep it on top.
I might just try to run it, period, and just go, you know, I'll suck with Billy Quintos. Yeah.
Hey, just do it.
I see a use submitted
Victor's keeping a 6 as well.
Use an 8 to help him share that. That was helpful. This was a total
that is true.
10 blue sources. Man, just having to run what's the word looking for? Just having to run that is true. I can run District Guide to help smooth everything out.
I mean, sure, but it's still like slower.
That is true, but if I'm playing like a Adonis Climb type of game, I want to be maximizing the amount of Hexproof creatures I have, so I don't mind the slower game just because I'm going to say, here's a Hexproof creature, it's gigantic, what are you going to do about it?
Sure. Settle the records will get you.
That's why we run Carter's. Oh, can't run Carter's Tyrant. Yeah, Settle records could get me.
Settle records is still going to get you, as well as Cleansing Nova. I think Blow Control is going to be good. Or maybe Jeskai. I'm not sure what all the Jeskai lists are looking at right now, but are looking like. But
it's going to be one that very interesting.
It's going to be Blue-White X. I'm like positive on that if you're running a control list.
That's a good point. We might just flat out have to run Disregard in the 3-drop. It is 10 o'clock on the dot,
giveaway's happening.
Giveaway's over. We're going to run the ticket. We're going to run the giveaway. Meanwhile, here's a Thought Scour from Victor Kurz. Looking over Step Denial, Blood Trip. Congratulations to Chaos Valor 89 for winning the Rashad Import. I'm going to message you myself.
Congrats.
Won.
We will be messaging you. And going back to this game here, we see Zach. Currently with Boros Charm, Lightning Helix, Lava Spike, lots of good stuff. And he's going to Boros Charm in a turn probably. Or not.
No.
Interesting. Goblin Guide coming in. And Lava Spike to get that extra prowess here for damage. Ask how many cards are in hand. Zach got 3 left. Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, and 1 other. Might be a change of the rocks. Victor's now, what was that, 3 Snapcaster Mages?
Yeah.
Creemer Battle Rage, Stubborn Denial is in there, Watery
snaps.
Grave, Death Shadow. Victor's hand is pretty loaded. Yeah, Victor's fine with that. He's down to take damage, so he doesn't have to work for his Death Shadows, and there's another one.
Yep.
Victor has double Death Shadow coming in. That's going to be really good. He's definitely taking this. Down to 7 is what we have.
It's interesting, though, because like, he wants to draw that, but he can't do anything this turn, because that's a Skull and Charm.
Sure.
So he flashes that Snapcaster Mage, he loses access to the Death Shadow. Like, he could just flash in Snapcaster Mage, kill the Goblin Guide, and try to negate the damage that way, but
no, I think he wants to take the damage.
Yeah, it's the awkward balance between how much damage you want to take against the burn deck, and at the same time, how much do you want to preserve your life.
Like, I feel like this matchup's very interesting, just because it's so weird, you know?
Yeah, this is also a much better hand for Zach.
Yeah.
And of course, he has Boros Charm, Lightning Helix.
Change of the rocks, too, to get rid of one of the Death Shadows. Alright.
And he played it. You mentioned you were surprised he didn't cast that
Boros Charm, yeah, end of turn.
7.
So if he did cast it, Victor would be at 3 here, and then he'd
but he's playing like he
doesn't
have. He's playing like he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, so he's playing like he doesn't have it, but I feel like he should just play like you do have it, because then you would just have lethal on your turn. But I don't know.
Here's 2 mana. Here is 2 Death Shadows.
And we're just sending it back. We can
There's
fetch for
another
this
stubborn now in Victor's hand, so he can go find a stubborn basic island for a stubborn now.
Or he can get a shockland. It'd be real cool.
Oh, that just seems so risky. I think it depends on what Zach plays out first. He can do both Chain of the Rocks and either 2-mana burn spell.
Yep. Victor, please don't shock. Please, just get the island, man. I know you have it. It's not worth it.
I like this a lot from Zach. He wants to use the Chain of the Rocks to try to bait out a burn spell.
You mean a counter spell?
Just right about a counter spell to try to resolve the burn spell. If I'm Victor, I 1000%. Oh, he's just gonna let it happen.
I counter that shit, dude.
I would get the basic island, counter it, and just say, well, what do you got? I got 2 big idiots.
Even if he does have a burn spell, you have 2 big idiots to block, and then you have a lethal swing back in.
There's a team of Battle Rage in Victor's hand, too.
Yeah. It's like he had a lethal swing, but now he doesn't anymore, and Zach has blockers still. Right? So if you keep it, then he doesn't attack with either creature. Now he can attack with both if he so chooses, but I still don't think he does. But he
Zach
could,
just
actually.
pass. Like, cause in theory, Zach doesn't have to do anything, because he has 7 points of burn in hand.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking that Victor does not have a...
Actually, Zach could have had potential... no, never mind. 7-9 still there. My apologies, but... Alrighty.
Victor's going to untap.
I like fetching on a turn. Just get us Steam untapped.
There is the risk of fetching in response. Zach just...
fires it off, sure.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
That is correct. He currently does not have the red source. He has access to it. He can untap. He can fetch Shock with Stubborn available to him. He still chooses to.
I feel like you need to get the red source in. So even if you do it on your turn, you're untapping.
That's a good point too. If he just got the basic to Stubborn the Chain of the Rocks, he would have the red source for Team of Battle Rage.
Yeah.
Here's an attempted fetch. Zach's to the Helix response. Victor down to 3 after the Helix. Zach up to 23.
No, that's not right. Right? Because, we had him at 7, I think.
So Victor took 1 for the fetch and the 6.
And the fetch, yeah, my apologies.
Helix,
Yeah, he's at 3.
Victor very wisely getting the Steam Ents tapped.
Oh, yeah. We're not shocking right now.
No, no, absolutely not.
However, that would be hilarious if he did. I would quite enjoy that.
Just go for the Gusto, down to 1 with the Team of Battle Rage in hand. That's not enough damage, though.
A second stub? That's really good.
That is pretty good indeed, but is it enough? That's the question.
So he doesn't actually have lethal here. So if he goes in, Team of Battle Rage is not in this game, but Team of Battle Rage and then 1 point of damage ends it?
I don't think he can.
No, 2 points of damage
ends it. He just cannot afford to attack.
The Shadow's currently at 10. So 1 point of damage to himself makes it 22 damage, and then 1 more makes it 24. So he has to go down to 1. So if he did shock, he could have potential lethal. But still wasn't a good play, so, yeah. He's going to combat. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go.
He has Samcast as a backup, so don't forget about that.
No, I already forgot about it. Let's end this game.
And don't forget, there's a hidden mode on Boa's Charm that gives
wait. He's no blocks.
Double strike.
He's getting in there.
Boy,
wait, this isn't lethal, Victor. No. Don't fall for it.
This is not lethal indeed.
Wait, can you damage yourself?
He cannot.
He scoops it up.
He scoops it up.
Victor, forgot about the life gain from Lightning Strike.
Yeah, Victor, I think forgot about the Helix life gain, and you can see the look on his face.
And there's Billy Caminos in the back there, also a league contestant. We haven't seen him on camera this week, but he's watching. So if Victor loses this match, Victor, Kurz, Billy Caminos, who's right there, and then Andy Falk, who we saw earlier, will all be tied. And if Andy wins, they'll all be tied for first.
And he has to win his match.
Yes. We'll try and get an update once he finishes the match, if he did or not. But however, going into game 3 here, so like Victor's in a very tough situation, I suppose. But yeah, so like he can really not afford to lose this match, because if he does, he loses the guaranteed first place. Yeah. And what'll happen here? If they all do tie, what happens if 3 people tie for first?
If 3 people tie, they're all gonna have to play each other.
Yeah, so they'll have to play each other. So do they each play one other person and just do one of those, or? It'll be awkward.
We'll come to that bridge.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, hopefully it's just 2 people that tie, if there is any tying involved, because that'd be a lot more simpler. Normally they just play for the win, but...
Or I needed to draw.
Oh yeah, dude, these burn matches are fantastic. I absolutely love it when you're playing with Death Shadow, or any sort of Death Shadow deck against a burn deck.
I feel like if he's shocked, then Zach snaps off a block there.
Oh Oh yeah, if he shocked, Zach double blocks because he knew Team Battle Rage was the only way he lost that thing, and it was 24 damage. And if he double blocks, he blocks 4 of that damage. He goes down to 3, and then he wins. Zach knew it was going down. Alrighty. But I think I don't know.
Yeah, but like those would be the last.
Well, so even if the chain into the rocks didn't resolve, we'd have another Death Shadow. And if we attacked with both Death Shadows, we still wouldn't have won that because he would have blocked at least one of them. So just in general, awkward. Alrighty.
There's no playing that game different. I needed you to not have that card. That's okay.
Going into game 3. Victor's on the play here, which is really good for a Death Shadow. If he has the same start he had in the first match, he can be a really good spot here. Is that no lands for Zach? No, alright, there's one in there. We double change to the rocks. Okay, interesting. I think Zach's going to keep it, just because he's also on the draw, so we can get that additional land, hopefully. Here, Battle Rage. Is that an Anger of the Gods? And a Polluted Delta. Not sure what else we got in there. It looks like a... Maybe Faithless Looting is what that is. Yeah, so that's promo Faithless Looting. This might be Thought Scours or Stubborn Denials. I'm not entirely sure, but... Interesting hand for Victor. And it looks like a Bolt, too. Victor's keeping it. I don't know. Victor's hand looks a little sketchy. Hopefully he can find a way to get out of it. He's going to do the classic Fetch Shock Faithless Looting. Pretty good start.
Ideal start for sure. Faithless Looting, the new spice in the stack, giving it some new life, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I definitely would agree with that. Let's see it. There we go. Steam Vents coming in. Untapped. Victor's down at 17, and we're going to be firing off this Faithless Looting. Draw to discard 2 with a flashback. Yeah, so he wouldn't have wanted to be set back either. You're absolutely right. He had to do... I mean, like, yeah. Well, there was a chance he didn't die, though. But we know that he did die. So he could have used Snapcaster Mage to flash into block, and then he had 2 blockers. Or, yeah. Yep. So if Zach was sitting on a land, that was the line for Victor there. Although we know, since we know it was in Zach's hand, that wasn't plausible, since he did have the Boros Charm. Looks like he's discarding a Thought Scour. He also uses a Fatal Push. Here's Bolt. Maybe another Faithless Looting in there. Hard to tell. 2 more Battle Rages for sure in there. And I think it's an Anger of the Gods. Yeah, it's an Anger of the Gods. Okay. Interesting. What do you think we're discarding here? So he's looking at a Thought Scour and the Anger. Okay,
yeah,
I like that.
Seems fair. Yeah.
I do not like the Anger of the Gods here, especially when you have a Bolt and a Fatal Push, which can deal with his early creatures.
Yeah, I like Anger at 3 in this matchup. I like him bringing in just the hedge, but as you mentioned, he has the Bolt, he has the push. No need for it there. Easy choice to discard.
Yep. What he does need, however, is another land. I don't think he drew one off the Faithless Looting.
Well, that ain't good then.
Yeah, but which is kind of why I don't like discarding the Thought Scour, just because it does draw you another one. What is the spiciest deck we have tonight? There was a Mono Green Belcher deck, but this is round 4. So this is actually the last match we're going to have on camera. I don't think Belcher did great tonight, but I might be wrong.
I concur with that. I don't think Belcher did great.
Hey, it's a fun deck, but, you know, definitely not meta. Alright, Victor done a 16. Let's see if he gets to land here, and I mean, we didn't see it, but... Oh, no, he did get a land off his looting. My apologies. So he does have fetch line, so he can go fetch Shock Water Grave. Now he will be down to 13 if he takes that line, and he can Fatal Push this Monastery Spear, or he's going to Bolt it instead, which is fine. Saving the Fatal Push for something else, I suppose. And Fatal Push, I don't know. I guess more resourceful. It also means that he doesn't have to fetch right now, and it means he can also hold up Stubborn Denial. Zach's fetching down to 18. And shocking, okay. Then 16. Let's see what Zach got. Possibly Eidolon would be a good play here. I like that a lot, actually. Or we're going to suspend 2 Rift Bolts.
This worked last time, and the key thing here is that Victor has no threats in hand.
Correct, yeah. So he's going to fetch in a turn. I don't think we're shocking. I think he wants to take us a little slower than normal. Just because, again, he doesn't have any threats. He doesn't have a way to, like, win the game. And if you're not winning the game, you want to try to not lose the game.
Exactly,
and, we're going to see that. He's thinking about it. He went for a Water Grave, put into play tapped, then he's deciding to get a Blood Crypt instead. Okay, regardless, he's not shocking. Definitely playing this one a lot more safer, and I completely agree with that line of play here. Especially seeing 2 Rift Bolts off the top, that's going to put down to 10 already, and that's going to be good enough for your Death Shadow to get some movement going.
Are
Notch. There's not currently a giveaway. We'll be starting up the next giveaway sometime later this week, once we figure out what the single is going to be. And there's a Death Shadow off the top. All right, it feels bad that he didn't Fetch Shock, I suppose, but it was the right play. And the basic island's not going to lower his life total anymore either. He has Stubborn Denial, Fatal Push, Death Shadow, all lined up. Down to 12 and then down to 9 for Victor. So this Death Shadow is currently going to be a 4-4, which is pretty good. But it's not actually going to do anything. And here's the Eidolon. All right, I think Victor's in a little bit of trouble here. He can Fatal Push it though, so... Yep, we're going to see that. He's going to go down to 7, and then his Death Shadow is going to be a 6-6. But it's going to be exiled by Chain to the Rocks. So it's not really going to do much here, but he does have a Stubborn Denial. Actually, he has 2. Does he have 2 Stubborn Denials? If he has 2 stubs, then...
I think he has 2 stubs, yeah, but it's like...
No, he only has 1 stub, so he can only protect it once.
He has a Death Shadow now, too, so...
Actually, Zach only has 1 White Source, so we can only use the first Chain to the Rocks. He can't do the second one.
There is the Death Shadow.
Okay, so if Zach doesn't draw a White Source, then this Death Shadow can stick. This could be very good because he also has Teamer Battle Rate, so I think Victor can just win this right here. If Zach doesn't draw, so I think Zach has to draw the second White Source. Would you agree? Because he needs to exile this now or he just dies, and that's not it. That's the basic mountain. All right, I'm pretty sure Victor wins this one. We'll see. All right, yeah, Zach's instantly picking up the Chain to the Rocks. He knows he needs to play this card, and he just hopes that it sticks because he doesn't have the second White Source. So I think
it ain't gonna stick.
Yeah, we have the Stubborn Denial. Wow, so I think this all came down to not having the second White Source.
Yeah.
He drew a red source.
And he sucked. And everyone...
Yeah, so it's a 6-6, so it's just an instant counter, not even for 1, so Zach can't pay it. And now Zach has a Bolt, but that's... actually, if Victor goes into 4 here, which he doesn't need to. Actually, he does need to go a little lower, though. But he has Fetch Shock, so he can Fetch Shock down to 4. And then the Bolt from
Battle Rage for 18.
Yep. All right, Victor got this one. I mean, what... you're afraid to double Bolt here? Is your Victor?
I mean...
So I think regardless, me and Jake both agree that we Victor should just be ending the game right here, right now, because he knows he's not going to survive later. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been talking about that all night, just trying to actually win the game instead of playing around and trying to avoid certain things. Victor has to go forward here. And if he does, he will win, because we know that Jack only has 1 bolt. But if Victor has to be thinking right now, does he have double bolts? What other things did he have? Nothing, that's it.
Just literally double bolt.
Yeah, literally double bolt.
Zach has 1. He doesn't have the 2, though.
Yeah.
Victor's in the tank. I think he would love to find...
I think he's going to start with Faithless
another
Looting.
Stubborn Denial off this Faithless Looting.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to try for. Because then he can Fetch Shock, and then play Teamer Battle Rage and Stubborn Denial. So I want to Fetch Shock first, regardless, I think. Or maybe not. I think Faithless Looting, if he's afraid of double bolt, you don't want to Fetch Shock.
You loot first. Well, here's the thing. What, he has 3 cards in hand?
Victor?
If he has 3 cards in hand...
He has to discard it till he gets anyways, yeah.
Yeah, so then...
There's no point.
There's no point.
Just go for it, and this way you're holding up Stubborn Denial too. Because then you have your blue source left. Use tap Blood Crypt, tap Island, and you can just present Stubborn Denial, which doesn't matter because Zach's going to have to have it.
I think he really wants to do that save facility, but he just realized that...
He's doing it anyways. There's... So fetch land...
Death
Shadow. I really hope he just keeps fetch landing. He's thinking really hard about this.
He is thinking long and hard about this.
So I think...
Now he has the option to attack with Shadow, pitch to 2 lands, attack with Shadow, play a new Shadow, and fade a draw spell. I think it all depends on what Victor would rather try to fade. Zach's hand of double bolt, or...
All right, there we go. All right, good choice by Victor here, definitely. Because it's all, double bolt's literally the only out here. And the odds of that are so low. Especially that since you knew that he drew the mountain off the top. The odds are just not there. He's going to summon to your Battle Rage. We're going to see if he wins. And Zach says...
Man, should have just held up my mana.
Yep, and he did. Victor gets it.
But then you would...
Very, very interesting match between the two. Kurz takes it 2 games to 1. Lots of interesting decision making.
Yeah, and you know what that means.